On today's episode, we are going to take a look at 4 stocks that I recently purchased. They are all hitting markets that I'm very bullish on. The first stock we're going to take a look at is one hitting the augmented and virtual reality market. The second company is a huge advertisement giant that is still seeing strong growth. The third company is the #1 market shareholder in the clouding market. And the final company is one that's helping businesses in Southeast Asia move into the e-commerce platform. So let's get started. And before we go any further, make sure to hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up, and make sure to follow me on Twitch where I take a look at stocks you wanted to look at. All right, so the first stock we're going to take a look at is Unity. And if you guys have been following me, you guys know that Unity is one that I have purchased, I think, for the four past weeks nonstop. And that's just because I'm overall super bullish in this market that Unity hits. So for those that don't know, Unity is a platform that helps you create creative content, from games to films, animations, architecture, engineering, constructions also use them. And they have partnerships with automotive and transportation companies as well. Some of the best games this most recent quarter were made in Unity. For example, Fall Guys, Among Us, that just came out, has been a huge hit in the Twitch community. More than 50% of the Nintendo Switch's games are made through Unity. So they have a huge platform and are also working outside of the gaming world. Right now, Unity has 793 customers that provide more than $100,000 in revenue in the trailing 12 months. Out of those 793, 13% of them are outside the gaming industry. And this is a perfect example to show how Unity is beyond gaming. All right, so if we take a quick look at Unity, they have 2 major forms of revenue collection. They are Creative Solutions and Operate Solutions. Both those solutions are seeing a nice uptrend for the past 4, 5, even 6 quarters. For those that don't know, Create Solutions is the form of revenue. If you create a content in Unity, you usually pay some form of subscription base, or you buy some form of models through their store. So that's during the whole creation of your content. The second is Operate Solutions. This is once you're finished with your content. If you have a game, for example, Unity can help you advertise the game, can help you test it out, can help you run it on their cloud servers. So they provide services after the creation of the game. Right now, Unity's stock price is sitting at $126. That's up about 84% from its first day closing price, but it is down about 27% from its all-time highs. We can see it's definitely pulled back. The only reason I want to say there was a pullback is it was a bit overextended and it was priced to perfection. And even though earnings were great, they weren't what investors wanted. Investors probably wanted to see more growth. The recent market cap for this company is about $35 billion. And I do see the huge potential for Unity being the augmented reality and the virtual reality market. Unity right now is expected to grow 20.4% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. So this is a strong growth company. Right now, they are not profitable and they do not have positive cash flow from operations, but they are expected to at least be cash flow positive by the end of 2022. So since they are not positive in cash flow or in earnings, I want them to have a very strong balance sheet, and this is this case. This company has no debt whatsoever, and they have a strong cash and short-term investment available to them right now. So this is why Unity made the list. The second company we are going to take a look at, I mentioned, is an advertisement giant, and this is Facebook. Facebook, for those that don't know, own a few platforms that you might use and a few platforms that you might have never heard about. The first main ones are Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and WhatsApp. They also own Oculus. Oculus is their virtual reality platform that they sell. They also own Novi, which is a digital wallet that is going to come out from Facebook. I do believe this is going to be integrated with a lot of their stores. At the moment, this application is not out, but we should hear some more news about it. Next, they also own Portal, which is a hardware. It's more like a quick tablet that allows you to use Facebook video or WhatsApp video. I do believe my parents actually have one and they use it for their WhatsApp video all the time. Next, they also have Workplace, which is kind of like a Discord. It's kind of a Slack platform, a mixture of like a Zoom and all. It's just a place to be able to engage with your community and have communications among your employees. So if we take a look at their most recent earnings, Facebook is still seeing monthly active people continue to grow on their platform, even though many believed that after COVID situation was going to be happening, as more people were returning back to normal life, this was actually going to drop. It seems to be more flatlining than drop, and the revenue they are collecting now is insane. Q4 of this year was a lot stronger than Q4 of last year. Maybe a lot more people were doing online advertisements since there wasn't much brick and mortar style advertising happening this most recent holiday quarter. Most of their money does come from the advertisement business. Very little comes from the other, and the other is those other 4 platforms that I showed you guys. But advertisement is very strong, and it's great to see that monthly active people still increasing, because it means, hey, Facebook still has eyes in their platforms, so people are still willing to pay for advertisement in their platform. Facebook stock is right now at $270. It has a $770 billion market cap. I wonder how far it's going to take for this to reach $1 trillion. Right now, it is up 24.2% for the year, and it is down a nice amount, from about 10% from its all-time highs. But we can see it's pretty much since July, I want to say, this stock price has kind of been volatile, but it hasn't really moved much. Facebook is a giant and is still expected to grow 15.2% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. Facebook is also profitable on earnings, and they do have positive cash flow from operations. Even with these great numbers, the company also has a very strong balance sheet. They have about $62 billion in cash and no debt whatsoever. Facebook probably has one of my favorite balance sheets next to Google, I would say. The third company we're going to take a look at is one of the clouding markets giants. This is Amazon, ticker AMCN. Right now, it is a $1.6 trillion company. In the past year, Amazon has returned about 52% to investors. And again, very similar to Facebook. Since about July, the stock price has been very volatile, but I wouldn't say it has moved much. It's been pretty quiet. Amazon, for those that are not familiar, is the #1 public cloud market shareholder right now. They own over 30% of the cloud market. In the most recent earnings, we're seeing trailing 12-month sales are insane, continue to grow. Most of their net sales come from North America sales, and that's a form of the e-commerce here in North America, subscription basis, and their hardware products that they sell. Then they have the international market, makes up about 27%, and finally AWS, which is their clouding market, makes up 12%. But AWS is a huge driving factor of this positive operating income. Operating income is positive $6.8 billion. More than half is coming from AWS. AWS operating income is about $3.6 billion. They are positive in international operating income and North America operating income. So it's great news for sure. Amazon is another giant that's still expected to grow at crazy levels, 14.3% on average for the next 3 to 5 years. They are profitable and they do have positive cash flow from operations. They also have a strong balance sheet. They have about $84 billion in cash and about $33 billion in debt, but it doesn't matter if they have that form of cash flow from operations in their everyday activities. Amazon, for those that are not familiar, Jeff Bezos is stepping down as their CEO. The new CEO was one of the creators of Amazon's AWS services. So I do believe Amazon is going to become a monster in the clouding market. Even though they already are #1, I believe they're going to be even more aggressive. The final company I took a purchase at was Logic, ticker LOGIK. For those that are not familiar with Logic, they are a super small company. They are pretty much the Shopify for mobile, and they're hitting a really crazy market in Southeast Asia. So Shopify, for those that are not familiar, Shopify helps your brick and mortar store move into the e-commerce side. But Shopify is better to be used in a mobile or a desktop to kind of help you transition that. So Logic is hitting the emerging market mainly in Southeast Asia. And in Southeast Asia, even though there's a lot of stores and entrepreneur stuff going on there, not most of them have a form of desktop or some form of computer or laptop to help you make that move. So Logic is more a mobile platform. So you only need your phone to kind of be able to transform your store into an e-commerce market. Yeah, some of their big global partners are India's Tech Mahindra, and they also have partnerships with Shopee Pay in Indonesia. We all know Shop C Limited is one of the biggest companies right now coming out of Southeast Asia. So this stock is traded over the counter as ticker LGIQ. Right now it's sitting at about $7.85, and it has a market cap of $122 million. So this one is more of a market this is a really small micro cap company, right? And to me, it's one that I want to increase my overall exposure, but it will never be a huge percentage in my portfolio. I do believe the kind of platform that they have is pretty cool, and I can't wait for their most recent earnings so I can learn a little bit more. But in the meantime, like I said, I don't mind increasing my exposure a bit here and there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if you guys have purchased any of these recently. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.